how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from the eye doctor. I didn't know I was going to get another operation today, get a laser. Story coming right up. So here's the story. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with my channel, I have glaucoma, and I had a couple of eye surgeries already in my left eye. I've got glaucoma in both eyes, but the right eye, it's not even worth mentioning. It's moderate. It's not anywhere near as damaged as my left eye. So I recently had what they call a tube shunt put in my eye. It was an operation where I had anesthesia, but I wasn't asleep. That was what was weird about it. And they put in a tube or a straw or some kind of a thing, very tiny as you can imagine, in my eye. And it was supposed to open after a few weeks when the stitches dissolve, and then allow fluid that drains from your eye to go through that to keep eye pressure low. We have eye pressure, and eye pressure should be 14 and under. Mine was 25 up to 35. One time it was 50, which is extremely dangerous. So I see this ophthalmologist, and let me tell you, I got a great doctor. This guy is on the stick. So I've been back twice to check it after the surgery, and the tube has not opened. So last week the pressure was 24. Today it was 26, so it's climbing. So he said, I'm opening it. I said, how are you going to open it? He says, with laser. So they took me back to a room, a surgical room. I didn't lay down or anything. I sat in a chair. He had a fancy machine back there, a laser. And the idea is to laser the sutures, the stitches in my eye, cut them, and let the tube open up. He had looked twice and said, nope, it's still flat. So he did it. We went back into the other room, looked at it, and he said, after lasering it, he said, I think I got it. And we went in the inspection room where most patients go to get eye pressure checked and everything. And he looked at it, he goes, no, it didn't open. I didn't get it. He goes, come on back with me. We went back again, lasered me again. And man, it was, I hate to cry about it. It wasn't terribly uncomfortable, but it was like someone sticking something in your eye. And you don't like that. So he had to, actually touch the eye, I suppose. And I kept seeing this light flash. I guess he uses his foot or a finger or pushes a button or however he does it. But the first time he like zap. And then when we went back in there the second time, he was determined. It was zap, 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 zap. I mean, wow. I said, man, I hope he's hitting the stitches and not something else in my eye. He told me to look down and to the right. And I was so afraid if I looked up or whatever, and that laser would have hit me in my pupil. Oh my God. So anyway, he got it. And I have inflammation now in my eye. Want to take a look at it? Pretty red, huh? The left eye here. It's located right up in there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Another week, one more week follow-up. I'm getting nickeled and dimed to death on these copays, but I got my money's worth today. I got the laser action, and last week he was surprised that it hadn't opened yet, and he said anytime this week, before he saw me today, he had figured it was going to open up, the stitches were going to dissolve, and it was going to allow the tube to open. But he says, we're going to get the pressure down. So I went from 26 to 6, and I'm off of pressure drops in my left eye. I still take them in my right eye. I'm off, but that prednisone I was taking, that was 3 times a day. And then he went down to 2 times a day after the surgery. Now I'm back to 4 times a day until he sees me next week. Now, what I know what's going to happen is you have to be weaned off of those. So I'm probably going to continue taking them even after next week. Then he wants to see me in a month. And that's when he said it will be determined if the drops, how many drops, how often the drops for the foreseeable future. Because right now we're trying to get it stabilized to where he can say, you have a tube shunt, you still have to take drops, but you don't have to take as many, and you only need to take these drops. And then we can see you every, 4 to 6 months or whatever it is he's going to ask me to come in. But right now I know next week, that's already scheduled. And then he said he wants to see me in a month. So what does that mean? That means that I do have a window of going out and traveling and coming back. I don't know how imperative it is to get back for that month checkup. But if I stuck around, well, now I'm getting into summer. Let's see, this is March. He's not going to see me till almost the end of March. Then he wants to see me almost the end of April. No way. I wouldn't go anywhere near Nevada, Arizona in May, because that's when it gets to be 175,000 degrees. So something's got to happen. But you know what I'm going to let happen? I'm going to let happen what the good Lord makes happen. And that's exactly how you crush it.